Hi there. So we are on day 189 of Through the Bible in 1 Year. Getting back to the Kings today. Yesterday we had a nice break and read the story of Jonah, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But now it's back to the Kings. We're reading 2 Kings 15 and 2 Chronicles 26, which will probably be the same story twice. Okay? Let's get through it. Judah's King Azariah. In the 27th year of Israel's king Jeroboam, Azariah, son of Amaziah, became king of Judah. He was 16 years old when he became king and reigned 52 years. That's a long time. In Jerusalem, his mother's name was Jecoliah, who was from Jerusalem. Azariah did what was right in the Lord's sight, just as his father Amaziah had done. Yet the high places were not taken away. The people continued sacrificing and burning incense on the high places. The Lord afflicted the king, and he had a serious skin disease until the day of his death. He lived in a separate house, while Jotham, the king's son, was over the household, governing the people of the land. The rest of Azariah's reign, along with all his accomplishments, are written in the historical records of Judah's kings. Azariah rested with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. His son Jotham became king in his place. There we go. 52 years right there, just in a couple of paragraphs. Okay, Israel's king Zechariah. Seeing all these different kings. Man, look at this. Zechariah, Shalom, Menahem. These kings just don't stop. Wow. In the 38th year of Judah's king Azariah, Zechariah, son of Jeroboam, became king over Israel in Samaria for 6 months. He did what was evil in the Lord's sight, as his fathers had done. He did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had caused Israel to commit. Shallum, son of Jezbek, conspired against Zechariah and struck him down publicly, killed him, and became king in his place. As for the rest of the events of Zechariah's reign, they are written in the historical records of Israel's kings. The word of the Lord that he spoke to Jehu was, 4 generations of your son will sit on the throne of Israel, and it was so. Israel's king Shallum. In the 39th year of Judah's king Uzziah, Shallum, son of Jabesh, became king. He reigned in Samaria a full month. Then Menahem, son of Gedaliah, came up from Tirzah to Samaria and struck down Shallum, son of Jabesh there. He killed him and became king in his place. As for the rest of the events of Shallum's reign, along with the conspiracy that he formed, they are written in the historical record of Israel's kings. A month. And then somebody kills you. Not healthy to be the king of Israel, is it? At that time, starting from Tirzah, Menahem attacked Tisbah, all who were in it and its territory, because they wouldn't surrender. He attacked it and ripped open all the pregnant women. Oh, that's disgusting. Why would somebody do that? In the 39th year of Judah's king Azariah, Menahem, son of Gabi, became king of Israel and reigned 10 years in Samaria. He did what was evil in the Lord's sight. Throughout his reign, he did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, and caused Israel to commit. Pul, king of Assyria, invaded the land. So Menahem gave Pul 75,000 pounds of silver so that Pul would support him to strengthen his grip on the kingdom. Then Menahem exacted 20 ounces of silver from each of the wealthy men of Israel to give to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria withdrew and did not stay there in the land. The rest of the events of Menahem's reign, along with his accomplishments, are written in the historical record of Israel's king. Menahem rested with his fathers and his son Pekahiah. Pekahiah became king in his place. Okay, Pekahiah. In the 50th year of Judah's king Azariah, Pekahiah, son of Menahem, became king over Israel in Samaria and reigned 2 years. He did what was evil in the Lord's sight and did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, that caused Israel to commit. That guy's a root of a lot of problems, isn't he? Then his officer, Pekah, son of Remaliah, conspired against him and struck him down in Samaria at the citadel of the king's palace, as well as Argob and Ariah. There were 50 Gileadite men in Pekah. He killed Pekahiah and became king in his place. As for the rest of the events, along accomplishments are written in historical records of those kings. Pekah. In the 52nd year of Judah's king Azariah, remember they only dedicated like 4 paragraphs to King Azariah in his 52-year reign at the beginning of this. Pekah son of Remaliah became king of Israel and Samaria and reigned 20 years. He did what was evil in the Lord's sight and did not turn away from the sins of all these people. In the days of Pekah, king of Israel, Telgath, Pelahir, king of Assyria, came and captured Ijon, Abel, Beth-Magiddo. Look at all those names. I'm not saying all that stuff. And all the land of Naphtali, and deported the people to Assyria. Then Hoshea, son of Bela, organized a conspiracy against Pekah, son of Remaliah. He attacked him, killed him, and became king in his place in the 20th year of Jotham, son of Uzziah. As for the rest of the events of Pekah's reign, along with his accomplishments, written in the historical record of Israel's kings. Judah's king Jotham. In the 2nd year of Israel's king, Pekah, son of Remaliah, became king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he became king and reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Joshua, daughter of Zodak. Why do we care? And he did what was right in the Lord's sight, just as his father Uzziah had done. Yet the high places were not taken away. The people continued sacrificing and burning incense on the high places. Not a good thing. Jotham built the upper gate of the Lord's temple. The rest of the events of Jotham's reign, along with his accomplishments, are written in the historical record of Judah's kings. In those days, the Lord began sending Rezin, king of Aram, and Pekah, son of Remaliah, against Judah. Jotham rested with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of ancestors. David, his son Ahaz, became king in his place. Okay. Now let's. Now we're going to go back to Uzziah, even though 3 generations of his kid was talked about up here. 2nd Chronicles. All the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in the place of father Amaziah. He rebuilt Eloth and restored it to Judah after Amaziah the king rested with his fathers. Uzziah was 16 years old when he became king and reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was this, and he did what was right in the Lord's sight, as his father Amaziah had done. He sought God throughout the lifetime of Zechariah, the teacher of the fear of God. During the time that he sought the Lord, God gave him success. Uzziah's exploits. This is all about Uzziah. Uzziah went out to wage war against the Philistines, and he tore down the wall of Gath to the wall of Jephen and the wall of Ashdod. He built cities in the vicinity of Ashdod among the Philistines. God helped him against the Philistines, the Arabs that live in Garbul, and the Mennonites, the Ammonites. God gave Uzziah tribute money, and the Ammonites gave Uzziah tribute money, and his fame spread as far as the entrance of Egypt, for God made him very powerful. Uzziah built towers in Jerusalem at the corner gate, at the city gate, and the corner buttress, and he fortified them. Since he had many cattle, both in Judah and foothills and on the plain, he built towers in the desert and dug many wells. And since he was a lover of the soil, he had farmers and vine dressers in the hills and in the fertile lands. Uzziah had an army equipped for combat that went out to war by division according to their assignments, and recorded by that person, the court secretary of Messiah, the officer under the authority of Hananiah, one of the king's commanders. The total number of heads of the family was 2,600 brave warriors. Under the authority was an army of 300,500 equipped for combat, a powerful force to help the king against the enemy. Uzziah provided the entire army with shields, spears, helmets, armor, bows, and slingstones. He made skillfully designed devices in Jerusalem to shoot arrows and catapult large stones for use in the towers on the corners. So his fame spread even to distant places, where he was marvelously helped until he became strong. Uzziah's disease. But when he became strong, he grew arrogant, and it led to his own destruction. He acted unfaithfully against the Lord his God by going into the Lord's sanctuary to burn incense on the incense altar. Azariah the priest, along with 80 brave priests of the Lord, went in after him. They took their stand against King Uzziah and said, Uzziah, you have no right to offer incense to the Lord. Only the consecrated priests and the descendants of Aaron have the right to offer incense. Leave the sanctuary, for you have acted unfaithfully. You will not receive honor from the Lord God. Uzziah, with a fire pan in his hand to offer incense, was enraged. But when he became enraged with the priest, in the presence of the priest in the Lord's temple beside the altar of incense, a skin disease broke out on his forehead. Then Azariah, the chief priest, and all the priests turned to him and saw that he was diseased on his forehead. They rushed him out of there. He himself also hurried to get out, because the Lord had afflicted him. So King Uzziah was diseased to the time of his death. He lived in quarantine with a serious skin disease that was excluded from access to the Lord's temple, while his son Jotham was over the king's household, governing the people of the land. Now the prophet Isaiah, right, son of Amos, wrote about the rest of the events of Uzziah's reign from beginning to end. Uzziah rested with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the burial ground of the king's cemetery. They said he has a skin disease. His son Jotham became king in his place. So there was a lot of kings in one. Crazy. I think tomorrow we're going to start Isaiah. Yeah, I'm excited about Isaiah. So that's cool. So there you go. That was today. A lot of kings, a lot of history, hundreds of years. Just passing by in a flash of an eye, right? So there you have it. That's today. Catch up on any you may have missed. You want to say you got the whole Bible in a year. Give us a like if you think about it. But until next time, we'll do it again. See you tomorrow.